What are the longest lasting SUVs that almost never break down? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Car Help Corner, where we help you, the consumer, master the process of car buying and car ownership. If you are concerned that new vehicles today are too complicated, too failure prone, and are just not built to last, well, I'm going to share 10 SUVs that are the total opposite, which are proven to last over 250,000 miles or 400,000 kilometers, sometimes even longer, without having a major failure. The data comes from iSeeCars, which is a reputable source for vehicle reliability, and analyzed over 400 million cars to produce these results. And just so you know, every vehicle on this list happens to have a naturally aspirated engine and a conventional transmission, which says a lot. So let's get right into the list, starting with the first SUV in the number 10 spot, which is the Mazda CX-5. Whether you buy one brand new or used, the CX-5 is an excellent SUV with an incredible reputation for reliability. The standard drivetrain consists of a naturally aspirated 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine that's connected to a conventional 6-speed automatic transmission. This drivetrain has been in continuous use by Mazda since 2014, and problems with it are very rare. Some variants do have engine start-stop and cylinder deactivation technology to save fuel, and all versions do have direct injection. But thankfully, none of these features have proven to be problematic on this engine. And it is easy to find examples that have reached 250,000 miles without major failure. And even though there was not enough data from iSeeCars to include these two other newer models, I would say that both the CX-50 and CX-30 are equally safe choices, given that they are mechanically identical to the CX-5. Mazda has some real winners. The next longest lasting SUV that we have that comes in the number 9 spot is the Acura MDX. What makes the MDX such a long-lasting SUV is its drivetrain. It uses the same naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6 engine it has had for ages, which is a very well-proven, solid, reliable engine. Depending on the year, the MDX came with a 6-speed, 9-speed, or on the current generation, a 10-speed automatic transmission, which is also proving to be reliable. The engine does use direct injection, and it has a timing belt, which requires replacing every 100,000 miles or 160,000 kilometers. But it's not a deal breaker, and the extra maintenance is well worth it given how long-lasting these nice luxury SUVs are. If you don't need the luxury of the MDX, however, you can get the same kind of reliability with these next two SUVs that come in the next spot, which are the Honda Pilot and Honda Passport. Both the Pilot and Passport are mechanically very similar to the MDX and share the same drivetrain, a naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6 with a 10-speed automatic transmission. Again, this is a timing belt engine, and it has direct injection, but the reliability of this drivetrain has proven to be excellent for the most part, and with proper maintenance, 250,000 miles should be easily doable with either of these SUVs. The Pilot is a 3-row SUV for those who need extra space, and the Passport is a 5-seater. Either way, you cannot go wrong. And now moving on to our next SUV and moving on to a different brand, in the number 7 spot we have the Toyota Highlander. Like the Pilot, the Highlander has been around for over 2 decades, and it has proven to be an incredibly reliable vehicle. Models built up to 2022 use Toyota's popular 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V6 engine, but even the engine that replaced it, the 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, has proven to be just as solid so far. The weakest spot of the Highlander is the 8-speed automatic transmission, which has been known for the occasional issue on some model years. But if you want to avoid that, you can always go for the Highlander Hybrid, which is the most reliable variant of them all, with a simple, naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine and a bulletproof eCVT gearbox that's basically failure-proof. Safe to say, no other 3-row crossover has a better chance of reaching high mileage than this one. And now for something a little bit on the smaller size, the next SUV that's in the number 6 spot is the Toyota RAV4. The RAV4 is a great example of not fixing what isn't broken. Until 2025, all gas-powered versions use the same well-proven naturally aspirated 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine with an 8-speed automatic transmission, which Toyota had in continuous use for several years. This is a very simple and reliable drivetrain that can easily run high mileage with ease, and it is very service-friendly when things do need replacing. The same could be said for the optional hybrid, which has an equally reliable drivetrain that uses the same 2.5-liter engine with an even more robust eCVT that's practically failure-proof. So, whether you want to buy one new or used, hybrid or non-hybrid, the RAV4 is a super safe choice. And if the RAV4 is not comfortable or luxurious enough for you, you can get the exact same drivetrains in its mechanical twin, the Lexus NX250 or NX350h, which are just as good. And speaking of Lexus, the next longest lasting SUV that comes in the number 5 spot is the Lexus RX 350. If you want a luxury SUV, no other vehicle out there probably has a better chance of reaching high mileage without problems than the Lexus RX. Like the Highlander, the models made up to 2022 came with a bulletproof 3.5-liter V6 engine and 8-speed automatic transmission. The current generation replaced the V6 with a turbo 4-cylinder, which is proving to be very reliable as well. But my preference in the new RX is to go with the RX 350h, which has the same ultra-durable hybrid system found in the Highlander hybrid, RAV4 and NX hybrid. You just cannot go wrong with the RX. And for the next SUV that comes in the number 4 spot, this is probably the best full-sized body-on-frame SUV out there, and that is the Toyota Sequoia. The version of the Sequoia that's especially known for its reliability is the previous generation made up to 2022, which came with an incredibly durable 5.7-liter V8 engine and 6-speed automatic transmission, which are known to run forever with basic maintenance. If you need a full-sized SUV that can handle major abuse, this is the one. The newer models from 2023 onward swap the V8 for a twin-turbo V6 hybrid drivetrain, which does have some reliability concerns. So if you want to be on the safe side, go with a used model and breathe easy. And for the next one that's in the number 3 spot, we have a very similar SUV, and that is the Toyota Land Cruiser. The Land Cruiser has a legendary reputation for reliability and durability, which mostly applies to the previous generation 200 series, which came with the same 5.7-liter V8 engine and 6-speed automatic transmission as the Sequoia. Unlike the newer 250 series Land Cruiser, however, the older 200 series was only sold in the US and not Canada. The way around that, however, is to look for a Lexus LX570, which was basically a Land Cruiser in Lexus form, and the LX was available across North America, so it's a great alternative. As great as the Land Cruiser and Lexus LX are, however, there is another Lexus model that does have them beat. In the number 2 spot, we have the Lexus GX 460. If you want a luxury SUV, there is no other vehicle out there that can top the reliability of the GX 460. Its drivetrain is absolutely bulletproof, a simple and ultra-reliable 4.6-liter V8 engine with a 6-speed automatic transmission that will run forever with basic maintenance. It is a gas guzzler, but it will run without fault, and 250,000 miles or more is really just the break-in period for this drivetrain. They are truly that overbuilt and that reliable. The brand new GX550 is also an excellent SUV, but it is more complicated and will be more challenging to repair in the long run. So for the best, no-nonsense reliability and repairability, the GX 460 is still the best. And it's a very similar situation for this next SUV that comes in the number 1 spot. The longest lasting SUV you can probably guess is the 5th generation Toyota 4Runner. If you have to pick one SUV to keep until the end of time that will run forever without failure, this is the one. Its drivetrain, a naturally aspirated 4-liter V6 engine with a 5-speed automatic transmission, is built to handle major abuse and will easily reach super high mileage without fault. Again, 250,000 miles is really like a break-in period for this drivetrain. It just runs and runs. I know this list was dominated by a lot of Toyota and Lexus products, but the truth is that they really do the best when it comes to ultra longevity and reliability, and the data supports that. As mentioned, IC Cars analyzed over 400 million vehicles for these results, so the study is quite comprehensive. And the great news is that even though not all of these vehicles and drivetrains can still be purchased brand new, all of them can be purchased lightly used with very low mileage, so you still have plenty of great options out there to consider if you want to have a forever SUV to keep until the end of time and spend the least amount of money on repairs as possible. So let me know what you thought of this video, and if you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you plan to purchase a vehicle and you live in Ontario, know that OMVIC is the vehicle sales regulator that's responsible for administering and enforcing the rules that dealerships must follow. To learn more about your consumer protection rights, visit omvic.ca. And if you need any additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal on your next new car purchase, make sure to visit carhelpcan.com. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.